Well, this is one of those times we're really glad we use a stream delay. Krass was having a quick pause because he needed to fix his hotkeys, but as we see, State is already 1 foot out the door, so to speak, with that probe. So, Benecheese to kick this one off. Kind of funny because that's how the last series ended. The bridge to this one, of course, is how it begins. So, spawning here in the bottom left corner of the map for the round of 8 in the safety net, we have our green Protoss player hailing from Korea. It's State.
Never right, as the Red Terran, it's Krass.
Now, this is the only, I think, series today where we're not going to be hopping around on servers. State living in Korea and Krass living in Europe, it's just a lot easier to have them both play on the North American server. You could technically argue to swap back and forth between Europe and Korea, but that's like way worse and super unfair for whoever's not on their home field advantage. So I think NA kind of takes the best of both worlds and the worst of both worlds.
Okay then. Well, what do we cast State doing? Versus Zerg, I believe, right? That was his group.
Yeah.
He looked a little shaky in the beginning, like he hadn't warmed up, but then of course he got out of his group first, so ended up having a very powerful kind of a finale, or I guess he increased in power as the day went on. But starting off really strong here with a 1 proxy gates. Hope cross paired.
Yeah, I think State probably had the most fun group, by the way. I don't think he actually hit Terran, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was Jon Snow and Cats he beat 2-0-2-0 to get out of the group. But yeah, I think the NA Group A was probably my favorite of all of them.
What about yesterday's European one?
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed casting that with you. It's a lot of game 1 was a blast, and then after that, I don't know what happened.
Oh, it's a joke. You get it.
I like actually. I like that State made it here, and he made it here really strong, because it does feel like between IEM qualifiers, WCS qualifiers, just generally anything we have State involved in, he kind of falls flat on.
Yeah.
I really can't pinpoint it either. It's not like, man, he picks stupid builds, or he tries to troll, or he's bad with macro. He just seems to get beaten most of the time in, well, a fair and square manner. Either way, Krass does scout that with the SUV. Sadly, it's a little bit late, so this Reaper can dance around with the Zealot for quite a bit of time, but the bunker coming down is pretty critical. Because, of course, it's not the Zealots we're worried about, it's the Stalker follow-up.
Yeah. If a Reaper and a Marine are already in that bunker, getting that Stalker up past it it's a big risk. It might be worth it, but it's always a hard thing to call on State, actually not even starting a Stalker. Oh, okay, there it is. There's no reason not to. You're gonna get a Stalker anyways in a normal PvT. At least I feel there's no reason not to, and that's gonna be your map control.
I kind of wish you would have used that second Zealot to save the first one a little bit more, but hey, it still gets out of the base alive. This Marine. It's like, Reaper, where the hell are you, man?
Need help?
Ooh, that's gonna suck. Gets the SCV too. Zealot on fire. Paying for itself so far. Gets a little bit extra with that second SCV going down. Let's not forget the first Zealot. Actually, what happened to that first Zealot?
It died to a Marine. That's why he lost the other Marine.
Okay. So,
right.
Kind of worth it, I guess. Bunker does finally finish, though.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. The Stalker coming out will be, again, the map control, but it shouldn't do anything further. Should not run past that bunker.
That's pretty cool. Krass, the Reaper's not going to get a lot done with the Mothership Core out. Definitely a little bit scary and a little bit worrisome when you have your only gateway across the map. This is the only form of defense.
Yeah, but it was also scary for Krass, like he put the command center on the high ground, not because he figured that there would be like he couldn't deal with one more Stalker. He probably could, but that, he didn't know that a Nexus was down until the Reaper just got here. He has no idea if it was 3 gates, Twilight Council, or what behind that gateway. It seems like less and less, like unless you're on a ladder game, that you have a proxy into an all-in, but people can surprise you. Look at you, look at hero. Stargate proxy into 4-gate Oracle Bust. It's dirty.
Yes, indeed. Well, the SimCity here is quite nice. It's going to limit where this Reaper can go, so he's not going to get away for too much longer. Finally going to get cleaned up by the looks of it.
Oh. Womp womp.
So here's the interesting way the bracket breaks down. Like I mentioned before, guys, the bracket is not actually represented by the order of the matches that are playing today. The match order today is based purely off of player scheduling and availability. And Harstem, winning his series versus Xenocider, will actually fight the winner of Cats versus Nurchio. And the winner of this will actually fight the winner of Little Bow versus Minigun. So we could very well have a PvP with a PvZ. Sadly, Krass is our last standing Terran in the tournament, though. So if you guys are Terran fans, make sure to cheer extra hard in the series.
Yeah. You know what's cool? What happened yesterday? The curse helped Krass again. That curse is pretty consistent, man.
The group curse? Is that what we're
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like if the Artosis curse is a legitimate thing, this thing is equally legitimate. If not, I'm not saying it's more powerful than the Artosis curse, but it's like right there.
See, it's not as random as the Artosis curse. The Artosis curse can come out of nowhere, and you're just like, why did you let him on that talk show?
Yeah.
Just let him doing his own thoughts.
Well, if you bring him on the talk show, specifically don't predict anything.
Yeah, but the group stage thing, it's kind of like you always got to be prepared. You always got to be like, I hope that guy I just beat didn't lose or win or whatever it is.
Okay, here's the mission for the base trade TV fans who are super dedicated out there. Go take random samples of like dream hacks of WCS groups, of our tournaments specifically and especially, and see just how often this happens. Like, get a real percentage of, like, 74% of the time, a player who loses the first time through wins the second time through in the finals.
Yeah. I kind of went over while you were gone, just like filling up time, right? Like, it makes sense because you're supposed to have someone figure out someone's style, but it shouldn't be nearly as consistent. Someone should just be the better player, and like win twice in a row, but it doesn't seem to happen as much as it should. We got this big army coming through. We're kind of big army. It's not, it's not overpowering, and only one medevac on the way. Oh, filled with wood mines, however. Ooh. It's not gonna do anything in the natural. He's sniping each other. Oh, medevac new. Okay.
I mean, if nothing else, the wood mines will supplement the force if he actually decides to fight with this, but gonna force that bird down really quick. Oh, the pro's gonna pull on top of it. Why, State? Why? Okay, actually. Oh. Throes of Death gets the kill, and the wood mine just explodes on top of the probes. They all go down.
I legit thought that was going to be enough, and then suddenly all the probes died.
You got the observer with that too, and the splash damage. I wasn't 100% sure about that, but that was that was the most kamikaze-licious wood mine I've ever seen.
It might have been the best option, though. I mean, like, if you put the stalkers into it, the wood mine just goes off on the stalkers and the probes, so it was a hard decision to make. Blinks forward, tries to get the medevac, just it's very, very hot pick guys.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we have that other medevac speeding towards the main. State's completely out of the base for this. Where's the mothership core? Oh, this time gonna be the photon overcharge, I guess. So yeah, probe's gonna just be pulled out of the base. This is probably the best choice, truth be told. This was pretty bad to get caught like this, and he really minimized his probe loss by doing so.
Gonna get a little bit of a Artosis pylon.
Yeah, speaking of Artosis things.
Takes away a couple of production gateways. That's what they're called, but not the robo.
I shortly after BlizzCon, Artosis actually unfollowed me on Twitter, and my thoughts were like maybe he just didn't like meeting me in person, but more so it's likely because I spam a lot of bullshit on Twitter. But I always have this fear, like, was it because I said Artosis curse like one time he tuned in or something? Like, I hope it didn't piss him off.
if that what causes him to unfollow people, he's probably not following anyone.
Yeah. I actually fully
That's the real reason he went to the Hearthstone.
I've actually had a lot of people unfollow me who are like close friends, and they're like, "You favorite shit way too much. Like, it shows up on my notifications. It's just really annoying." And I'm like, "Sorry guys, I love favoriting."
Wow, I feel the complete opposite. I never get your favorites from you. No, I'm just kidding. The only thing I unfollow people for is if they tweet too much. I don't care about notifications.
I think it only shows up on the mobile version of Twitter, like not your tweet deck or whatever you use. Because
notifications are to the right side. Like I see when you favorite it.
Okay, well I just favorite stuff all the time. Everything. I'm like, oh, someone tagged me in a tweet, freaking favorited, like so quick.
It's probably more annoying when you're looking on the web page, I guess, like that you use.
Probably. Okay.
I don't know. But
well, either way, getting past the topic of tweets here, because let's be honest, it's kind of irrelevant. We do third base coming out of State and favorited the fact that this goes down. But he's got a couple Colossus in his army. Quite frankly, I don't know that Krass can break this. Looking kind of similar to the last series with Xenosat versus Hearthstone. Like he's split too thin. He will get over here with this one army, but it's almost done, so the overcharge will be able to cover it. Maybe.
Kind of.
At least until those stalkers
double stim right there. Well, a good time warp. I was actually more afraid since State was so... Wait, no.
It's like the reverse blink stalker. Like the one empty medevac is the one that gets targeted. Like what?
Yeah, I was lucky. But I was worried because State had followed out that second army so far forward that if Krass hadn't spent time maybe killing that probe or whatever, that next could have pretty fast with the bio, but not the case. State holds really well and is on his way to charge. I guess Storm's going to be on the list as well, coming up next.
I'll scan around to look for those observers. I mean, sometimes it is one part keen eye, you can see that blur and all that, but most of the time it is just kind of predicting, like, oh, okay, well, I don't want him to see me move out, so how do I prevent this? Scan, and he will catch State a little bit off guard. There's a couple of Stalkers and Zealots, but these will be weeded through very quickly with the bio. And truth be told, yeah, without that recall, oh, he can focus on the Colossus. Oh no, State loses with the Colossus pretty easily through that. I think he could have lost the other if Krass was maybe paying a little more attention, a little bit quicker on the draw. But good reaction out of Krass. Good reaction out of State too. If he didn't recall though, that base was going to go down. No questions.
Yeah. It seems like in a PvT, we do see a lot of people forget recall. In PvC, it's used all the time. Like that seems to be like the goal, is to snipe a base and recall, but not nearly as much in PvT. So good on him for remembering. And even if he lost that Colossus, I actually think that was it was great and all, but maybe not that big of a deal. As this game's going to go on for a little while longer.
It's always going to be a nice catch, though. I mean, truthfully.
Yes. Yeah. And Krass did lose about half of their army. He had to kind of give one up because the medevac was so low. We would be able to get both medevacs out. So I don't know. I guess we'll look at units lost, right? And it is a little bit in favor of State. So we'll see how the game plays out. It seems like it'll go on for a while longer. That is a lot of ghosts for this stage. State's not on High Templars yet.
I don't think it's bad, though. The extra EMPs are always beneficial, but ghost damage versus Zealots is really good. Yeah. I mean, Marauders are kind of garbage. Marines are okay, but Ghosts just brings so much actual damage that, well, they hit for like 25 versus light, right? 22, there you go. So, it doesn't matter about those armor upgrades. Pierce right through.
Yeah, no, I'm actually that was actually more of a remark on State's state of being. Yeah, a little bit of a CV pool, only with 1-1. The moderate amount of Vikings, a lot is overgrowth. Maybe this fourth Colossus coming out will be a very big deal, as that's a lot of extra damage. I'm sure they'll die, but it's all about how much damage you can do in the short amount of time they're alive.
It's a nice timing for this too, because it is just before Storm. So, well, I shouldn't say just before, it's before Storm, period. Might lose a Viking or two, but the advantage is you can repair them. Because SCV's pulled. He does need to get this on the front line, though. Having SCVs in the back really does not serve any purpose other than lost mining time. So, with 73 probes from State, his army supply is not going to be that big coming into this. EMPs will go down on the Templar immediately, but this might not go so well. The SCVs are already gone.
Oh my god.
Oh,
nope,
dear.
nope.
Oh god, oh god, oh god. That might be it. Krass, with the SCV pool, gave away a lot for this. We do have a second set of bio joining the front lines, but the Vikings are gone, and they really didn't do the job of just killing all the Colossus.
A lot of the Zealot Warpins are kind of wasted necessarily, but they are on the back, not helping stop the Marauders from getting on top of them. The Colossus might be enough.
It's pretty down to the wire, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, the production's going to win out for State here. The Colossus still being alive is a big deal.
If either the Colossus weren't available or maybe a pylon had been depowered through this mess, this could have looked very different for Krass. But down to 39 workers, he's dropping mules, and this will float him for a bit, but as we see, his income is just nothing in comparison. He knows it as well. Good game is called, and game number 1 will go to State.
I really feel like this pool wasn't actually that bad.